way of going live on YouTube is absolutely dire, so apologies for that. Now I'm moving around here because I've just taken a print off and I haven't had a chance to wash it off yet, or indeed get ready, so I'm a little bit behind, so apologies for this, guys. So you can see I'm just doing these. What are these, I hear you ask? These are my epic scale Charybdis. Charybdodes? I don't really know what the plural of a Charybdis is, but these are they. For my Blood Angels to use to tear into the enemy with. Just going to quickly wash them off. That's that. And then, hello Andreas, hello. I'm going to pop these in some warm water just to loosen up the supports. It feels like I'm cooking fish or something. There we go. Pop that back on there so I don't die from fumes. Same with this on there. Oh, spark all everywhere, so I die from fumes anyway. And finally, sit down. Well, hello everyone, welcome to today's live stream. As you can see, it is as well planned and prepared as ever. I'm hoping to go for about an hour today, so we'll finish around about 7 o'clock-ish. I've got a couple of projects, one that I wanted to show you because I'm quite excited about, and then we'll carry on with the grind of the Vertin-Burgers as we approach Beneath Eagles to Glory. The question is, will I get them done in time? That's the thing that we're trying to find out. If you can hear a little bit of chugging and whirring in the background, that's because I've put another print on. Hello Lucas, hello Glenn. What am I printing at the moment? Nothing of yours, I'm afraid, Lucas. This is some Lord of the Rings figures this time. So, some Axemen of Lost Nark and Clansmen of Lamadon. And they are to go with, well, not really, this is more for my El Cid. I'm going to paint part of it today. This is something that I've been working on. Now, this could be my foundry. It could be my vignette for the event. It's a little bit big. That's probably about, have I got a tape measure? I've got a ruler. So we are sort of 5 inches square. So it's a little bit big, but I think he gets away with it for rule of cool. So I'm going to paint the barrel and this like mobile cart today. I'm just going to paint the brown wood on them, and then I'll go in later off stream and do the metal banding, and then all the rest of the gubbins on here as well. So we'll start off with those, and then, as I say, we'll crack on. I've got a little pile of Vertin-Burgers to be getting on with, so we can crack on with those as well. So let me get my makeshift palette. Do I have a proper palette to work with today? Nope, I don't. So we'll just have to go on this one. So you can see I'm using a really old knackered brush. Now I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, I don't need to be very neat on this. I'm just going to slap the wood on everything that's vaguely wood. Now the second thing is the resin's not fully cured. It's a little bit sticky. So it has the potential to damage my brush. Now I don't want to use a good brush, so I'm just using this crappy Games Workshop start. I think it's a starter brush. Yeah, it is. So these are the ones that you get when you get your paint set. So it's not a real hair or anything like that. It's a bit of a cheapo one, and it just means that I can slap the paint on and not worry about damaging the brush, which is what we like. So I hope you guys are having a lovely day. It's absolutely gorgeous here today. It's been about 20 degrees. That's centigrade, 20 degrees centigrade. So that's actually quite nice for England, particularly this time of year. I am painting. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to sort out my my computer to show the comment. Here we are. Oliver, I am painting. So this is from Reconquer Miniatures, and it's a blacksmith's forge that they do. Now I've recently just picked up the piece de resistance for it, which I'd completely forgotten I'd ordered, because I liked the roof. I liked the red tiled roof, but I just felt it was missing something. I just felt it needed something. So I bought a pack of cats from Green Stuff World. So I'm going to have a cat stalking along the top, and maybe get some birds sitting on the edge that the cat's taking an interest in. So who have we got? We've got Ratel Mike. Hello, Chris. We've got David Benton. Hello, hi dudes. Ben Larry. Hello from Tennessee. And Glenn. Hello. We used to have a couple of people from Tennessee. We used to have Steve Tyler from Tennessee as well. He's not popped by in a while. It's 90 Fahrenheit in the South USA. Oh yeah, see, I couldn't live with that, man. I am not built for hot temperatures. I am built for cold Scandinavian temperatures. Let's put it that way. And that would be absolutely. I bet it's humid as well, isn't it? I bet so that'd be even worse for me if it was humid. I remember particularly one day in Hong Kong, it was very humid, and I think that's perhaps the grumpiest I've ever been in my entire life. So I was a very, very grumpy boy that day. So we're just slapping the brown on. What's some 1940 French? Ah, very nice. I've been looking at doing some of those myself, actually. The new Warlord models are really nice, but there's the printed ones as well. I think we talked about them last time. Is this terrain painting? Sort of. It's potentially a vignette for my Napoleonics. It's also I was hoping to put on a display game from El Cid, or perhaps even the First Crusade. You can thank Martin from Seventh Son for that. So it may end up being part of that display board as well. But as it is at the moment, its potential is as a vignette for the army. Now the blacksmith, he gives you, I think he gives you your first order for free on cavalry. So I could do him as that, or I could model the smith to be sharpening a sword. So he could be a sword sharpener as well, which would be quite tasty for the old Vertin-Burgers garde du corps, that's for sure. So pop that over there to dry. There we go. I've still got a little bit to do at the front there, but I'll do that when the rest of it's dry and I can hold it by there. Now this barrel I've stuck down, probably shouldn't have done, but I needed to find out where everyone was going to stand and position the accoutrements in place. So that's why it's all glued down. Whereas that obviously makes it a lot more difficult to paint. You may not be able to see this. I'm going in through the back of the forge. But no, this is an absolute joy. This is, again, part of Reconquer Designs. You know, one of their monthly Patreon releases included this. There is a blacksmith and a guy pumping the bellows as well. So I've got those separate. And I'll paint those and get them added to the scene. And I'm just going across here just to highlight that table. Yeah. And run it along here as well. There's some helmets on this table here, so I'm looking forward to painting that. That takes it out of the Napoleonic era, I guess, a little bit. But a little bit of artistic license is okay, I think. Just grabbing the corners there, some horseshoes there. Got some pincers hanging off the anvil. Very nice. So that's the the blacksmith. So I'm looking forward to getting that one finished. So I just wanted to get the brown done on them, and then I can finish those off later. Looking forward, I could do some sun in Bavaria. Oh yes, no. 80% humid. Ugh. Tunes into Tim slapping. You know me. I like to slap now and again. I don't know who this is on my newspaper today. This is an old one. When's this from? We're associated with Sky Bet. There you go. So I'm just, we're cracking on with the Bavarians. I've done basically what I ended up doing was just printing off a ton of command groups because I've got quite a few regiments done, but I didn't have any command groups ready for them. So what I'm going to do is we're going to crack on with these. As you can see, I've not painted any of the facings yet, and that's because I need to review the troops. I need to get the units out that I have got painted but without command groups, then go over those and then allocate each one of them a command group from here, and then we'll be good to go. So, but I can do everything else before that. So we've got the white that's going to need highlighting, and then we've got things like the canteen there, the saber or the briquette, the backpack, things like that are all going to need doing. The flesh, obviously. I don't think we can get all that done today, but we can certainly make a start. I think I'm going to crack on with some Leviathan blue. Now, these have all had their blue done. He hasn't. So let's get about a good handful of guys who need the blue on them painting. Another officer there. I don't seem to have any of the second command group that Lucas brought out. Now, I can't remember if that was part of a Kickstarter or if I'm going to have to buy that one separately. But no worries. If it is a separate buy, I will be buying it separately. We've got a mounted officer there. We've got some garde du corps that I've still not finished off. So there we are. It looks like we've not got that much blue to do, actually. I think I'm a bit further ahead than I thought I was. So that's good. Yeah, thanks. I'm looking forward to the forge being finished. As I say, I think adding the cat's going to be my favourite part to it. What am I currently painting? I am currently painting Vertin-Burgers infantry from Piano Miniatures and a blacksmith's forge from Reconquer Design. Those were the two projects I'm working on today. Just put my watch up there. Oliver, no, these aren't Bavarians. These are Vertin-Burgers. The foot command group should have been part of the second Kickstarter. It probably was. I just haven't printed it out yet. Imrahil von Dol Amroth. Hello to you, sir. I'm just printing some of your knights at the moment, actually. So I'm thinking I might do a fiefdoms list for the next Lord of the Rings event. Bit of Forlong the Fat. I can sympathise with him, you see. He's actually very good as well. Strength 5 with the lance is nothing to sniff at. What's General Dan up to? He is taking a break from some epic Phoenix Guard by having a barbecue. Ah, fantastic! And presumably memorising your Austrian recipe as well. Fiefdom's fun. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to them, actually. I'm printing them from, and the printing goes ever on. And I quite liked they're a bit more historical, their models. They look almost like 13th century knights, so I quite liked that. But we'll see how we get on with them. I don't know, we'll see my Austrians are. Well, you'll have to sort them out, Lucas. You'll have to get some 1813 ones done as well. Oh, that's cool. I'm get some pictures up on the old the Facebook. I'd quite like to see that one. So your 18mm stuff, it looks absolutely fantastic. Definitely as good as AB Miniatures, who for me are the absolute pinnacle of 18mm. I guess they're the only ones who do 18mm, but still. I did do a little bit of work on my epic Russians, actually, at the weekend. I managed to paint one base worth, so that's 4 strips of 5. I painted all the grenadiers for another battalion, so that's they're coming along slowly, but they're just a bit of a fun project. There's no timeline for them. Yeah, I've recently got into small scales, like stuff like Epic, as Dan says he's been painting some Emperor's Children. I've been doing some Epic Imperial Fists. And the Warmaster, I'm really enjoying my my Fantasy Warmaster at the moment. Painting them's particularly good. Although I'm having a break. I finished my Dark Elf farming. I'm having a bit of a break, but I have printed a load of lizard men, so I'm quite looking forward to getting into them. I find with smaller scales, you want brighter colours, or even just lighter shades. So with the lizard men, I'm really looking forward to getting into the absolutely crazy, vibrant colours. You know, the turquoises and the jades and all that kind of stuff. I'm quite looking forward to. That's unusual for me. I normally paint quite muted colours, so I'm quite looking forward to getting into that actually. So as you can see, these guys are sort of a bit varied. Some have got muskets painted but no uniforms. Some have got uniforms and no muskets. Some have the flesh base coated for doing the contrast paint on. It's just a question of when I'm painting, I'll grab some figures and do, you know, say I've got the brown out, I'll do some muskets, and when I get bored of that, I'll put them away, and I'll get the bone out to base coat the flesh. And I may not grab the same figures, but it'll all get done eventually. So I've gone on to his bib there. That's not necessarily the end of the world. I'm going to try and highlight the white before we go today. He's got his little short coatee back there. This one's all straps and stuff. I'm just going to bang some blue in there. And when we go over that with the whites, that should tidy that up quite nicely. Emperor's Children, yuck. Yeah, well, exactly. No, to be honest, they're pretty cool actually. The Phoenix Guard Terminators are really, really nice. So Epic ain't small. Well, 6 mil. I mean, like 40k. Well, 30k Epic we're talking about here. But yeah, no, the Epic Sky Russians are 12 mil. They're a bit bigger. Warlord don't make them. They are printed from a guy on Cults, I think he is. Or it might be no, 3D Wargaming. And he does, if there is a Napoleonic unit out there, he does it in epic scale. It's absolutely fantastic. I've just bought his French line infantry, which were not cheap. They were $20 for the files, and that's just for bog standard French line. But how many units you're going to get out of that? If I print, say I print, I don't know, 12 regiments of 3 battalions, that's 36 units I'm getting out of that file. So suddenly you're paying less than £1 a unit. So you can't really complain at that, I don't think. If it was 30 quid, 20 quid for the files for like the Mamelukes of the Guard or something, I might be a little bit unimpressed. But for French line infantry, you can't complain that. Speaking of Mamelukes of the Guard, actually, he's just finished his Janissary range. I think it's MC Turner, I think it is, or something. It may not be MC Turner, it's MC something. But check them out on Wargames 3D if you're into your epic. Even if you like the Warlord stuff, they can give you some alternative units. So things like, I don't know, French with, I don't know, say Prussians in greatcoats or something like that. Warmatch is so good, printed 200 high elves. Oh, blimey. I haven't painted a single figure. Oh, the elves will paint up really quickly, though. Just spray them silver, wash them, bang some white cloth on. There you go, job done. Jobs are good one. I was told there's going to be a drinking game where every time I say jobs are good one, people need to drink. So I'm going to have to retire that phrase, I think. I just got myself a 3D printer. Fantastic to print a few printing guys. Oh, right, well, there you go. No, they are really nice. I was looking at their Corsairs of Umbar range today as well. I may have to indulge in those. And the piano miniatures are, of course, fantastic. This one here has been printed by an absolute smooth brain. I don't know who's printed this one. I think, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's the printing or if I've undercoated it too thickly. But either way, I've done a terrible job on this figure, and that's not Piano Miniature's fault. That is purely my fault, that one. Dear, oh dear, that is very poor. I think it looks like I've not washed him off properly. There's still, like, there was liquid resin on him that's dried. That's what it looks like. We'll see how this guy goes. He may end up in the bin. And that's the other good thing about printing models, is because printing them is relatively cheap. There comes a sort of sunk cost, like time cost analysis of, is it really worth me spending the time to try and recover this figure, or shall I just chuck him in the bin and print another one? How would I improve the Russian Guard cavalry rules-wise? If you don't remember the rules, maybe do it as a video. I did talk about them in the Russian Guard cavalry video, which I made 3 years ago now, 2.5 years ago. So it was a long time ago. I can't remember their rules, what rules I've actually got. Now, I do remember with the Cossacks, it does just say, oh, just use normal Cossacks and give them a bonus. I don't know. fair enough. That's me told. Yeah, it just says give them an extra hand-to-hand. Now, obviously, that doesn't work. But in the quick reference sheet for the army, there is actually a separate entry for Guard Cossacks. What would I go with? I'd probably, by and large, I probably would just give them +1 attack over their regular counterparts. What I would do, I would probably give the Chevalier Guard something more than that. Maybe, certainly Elite. Elite 4+, perhaps. Not quite to the standard of the Grenadier Cheval, but certainly amongst the best Guard cavalry in Europe, I think. I mean, they could probably do with something like a rule about their supporting and being supported. Something like they can only be supported by other Guard units, but they can only support other Guard units or something like that. It's a bit of a negative for them, because they were certainly not short of self-confidence. Let's put it that way. But yeah, for the, stuff like Guard Dragoons or the Guard Horse Jaegers, yeah, I'd probably just add 1 attack to your Russian Dragoons, and maybe give them Elite 5+. Again, probably not as much as the paint's just not sticking to him at all, is it? Maybe not as good as the Chevalier Guard, but certainly as good as any middle guard cav. I'm not sure what's going on with here. I'll put him to one side. Certainly as good as any middle guard cavalry, I would have thought. Artificial base. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that. I mean, you could do something like keep a record of how many rounds of combat each unit has won, and then the unit that's won the least gets charge at everything or something like that, gallop at everything, just to represent them, desperately trying to outperform their rivals. Or you could use, if you're using the capture the color rules, you could do it for the number of colors captured as well, or you could add that as a, if you count the number of units the rounds of combat they've won, and if they've got colors, you add an extra 1 on top of that, or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, no, that could definitely work. I need to get my head back into Russian Guard, because I've got 6 battalions of Guard infantry to paint, and I also want to do some Guard cavalry as well. I also want to do the military order cavalry. So yes, the Russian Guard are on the horizon, but once I've done these Vertin-Burgers, I'm hoping to complete a couple of other projects I've got going on at the moment. So the Irish, I'm hoping to complete them, maybe a couple more battalions of Swiss, and then I'm hoping to do an Italian army. That's in the long term, the Italians. I have a fun online game of the Battle of Bautzen. Oh, nice. Upcoming is going to be large and long. Well, giggity. No, Bautzen's a good battle, actually. It's one that I don't know a huge amount about. But I never used to be that bothered about the campaigns of 1813. But yeah, no, as I've got older and learned a bit more about them, I can see I was wrong. Now this guy is a Bavarian. Now I'm going to paint his coat a little. I'm going to paint his coat dark blue. He's a grenadier, so my fluff for him is that he swapped it. He swapped some Bavarian beer with a French old guardsman for his greatcoat, because they're like, yeah, I mean, it's the summer, we're going to go into Russia. Who's going to need a greatcoat in Russia? Not me. So there we go. He's had some nice Pilsner from Bavaria, and this geezer's got a nice warm dark blue coat. I quite like the dark blue coats for the grenadiers, and I tend to do brown for the light troops. Absolutely no historical basis for that whatsoever. I just think it looks neat, to quote Marge Simpson. It's gone on to trousers as well. This guy's obviously swaps. He's obviously swapped some winter trousers with that old guardsman as well. So got to be sleeve. Again, I mean, I know I bang on about this. I know Lucas is in the chat, so I don't want to. I don't want it to appear that I'm kissing arse, but the expression on this guy's face, the just the characterful nature of it is absolutely fantastic. Really is very good. This guy looks like, I mean, he's got the moustache. This guy looks like he's seen it all. He's very unimpressed by what he's seeing at the moment. He's just seen a Russian 20-pound ball go through a column of conscripts, and they're looking a bit shaky, and he's thinking, God, these whelps, these children they're sending out to the front these days. That's what I get from his expression anyway. Yeah, well, that's the other thing, David. Yeah, that's the other problem with 1813. It's like super complicated. So I think I've got my head around most of it now. But yes, hopefully, if and when Warlord finally bring out this book, that'll have a nice potted history of the era in there. And to be fair to them, maybe that's one of the reasons it's taking so long. Is not so much the rule side of it, but the fluff side of it, if you want to use that term. So maybe I should cut them some slack. Nah, I don't think so. Speaking of Russian 20-pounders, I shall be picking some of those up at Partisan, which is coming up here in the UK. It's a wargaming show. If you are in the UK, anyone going to Partisan this year? I went to Hammerhead, which is in the same place. And that's traditionally been my favourite wargaming show of the year. But I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit disappointed with it this year. I painted some Vertin-Burgers infantry with the Shaker of the later period. Yeah, to be honest, that's probably the sensible way of doing it. But we don't do sensible on this. We don't do sensible here. A disturbing pic of hairy female legs there, Tim. I don't think they're particularly hairy. They're not mine, at least. That would be a disturbing picture. I'm not sure it is. It's Louis Manuel Diaz's mum. So there you go. He's old mum. I quite like Diaz. He's not had a very good season though. Still, most importantly, they're not going to win the title. So, yes, 1813 is huge in scale. I think it's one of those things where, I think, you know, if you want to talk about Napoleonics and the Napoleonic period as being the first modern war, I certainly think 1813 is where you can really look at it and say, yes, it is. You know, you've got multiple armies going, you know, operating basically independently of each other. It's not dissimilar to, say, the First World War, although obviously they're not independent. You've got, you know, instead of having multiple corps, you want multiple armies running around. And I think 1813 certainly has that. And that makes it a little bit more intimidating because it makes it much bigger and difficult to get your head around. But it also means that you can isolate certain areas and really go hard on those. One of the ones that I'd really like to focus on is Eugène de Beauharnais' defense of Italy. He is, I've read a few accounts that say he was the best independent general Napoleon had. And they cite his defense of Italy against the Austrians in 1813, 1814 as an example of that. I think there's some earlier ones as well. But I think that in particular is supposed to show his skills. So yeah, I'm definitely wanting to read more about that. I've got a biography of him actually, which I haven't even opened yet. So I probably should do. You know, I've got a bit of a man crush on him. Maybe the Shakos are easier to produce. Yeah, that's usually the reason. That's why the Austrians decided to move over from the helmet in 1809. They were moving over from the helmet to the Shako because of the cost of replacing all the helmets they'd lost in the 1805 campaign. So yes, no, that the cost is definitely a factor, especially something like Vertin-Burg, which not the poorest of the Confederation of the Rhine by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean still a fairly minor nation with a fairly limited economy. I mean, I don't really know much about their economy. I imagine it was mostly agricultural, maybe slightly industrial, but I imagine, yeah, the economy wasn't the most robust. So Shakos probably would have been the order of the day, absolutely. So just going in and blocking in the black. I like doing the black fairly early on because the white it's an off-white. It is going to need highlighting, but it is still white, so it kind of looks like the models are more finished than they are, which is a good thing because you think, oh, they don't need that much doing to them. But it can be a bad thing because then you find out, actually, yeah, they still need loads. So, so I'm trying to fool myself and hopefully have the positive response to that rather than the negative one. So we've gone on there. Now, these guys haven't got cartridge boxes, which is not surprising because they've not got muskets. So I need to make sure I don't miss the cartridge boxes when I do the NCOs. I was putting off painting my Austrians for yeah, you know what, mate, I've been putting these off as well. I've got an event I'm going to before Eagles to Glory, which is a World War II one. So I spent the bank holiday weekend painting Germans, which actually has gone quite well. I don't really paint that many Germans. Americans are my World War II army. But yeah, actually it was been quite enjoyable. I've quite enjoyed painting some World War II. Emil Morehouse, the irony, I have Austrians. I'm looking to come to under Eagles as well, but I can't paint. Well, I mean, that's okay. As I've said in the pack, don't worry too much. I'd much rather, I've said before, I'd much rather people were there with an unpainted army than sat at home with still an unpainted army or even the most fantastically painted army of all time. I'd rather people just came and threw some dice and had fun and met other Napoleonic Wargamers. I've gone a little bit high on his boots there. I've got that on his knee, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, well, it'll be right. I tend to put my standard bearers in the second rank because I like other troops to be in the front rank. So normally a command base, I'll have 3 figures at the front, 3 at the back, and I like to have the drummer and an officer at the front, and then something like a pioneer or a senior NCO or an Eagle Guard or something like that at the front. So the standard bearers, because the most important thing about them is the flag, which sticks up in the air, I tend to put them in the back rank anyway. So this is, again, an absolutely gorgeous model. Just the he's quite passive with the way he's holding his hand out there. It's quite far back. Really nice. Really like how, again, he's a veteran veteran sergeant. He's not rushing the men on, or he's not pushing them forward or anything like that. He's just encouraging them to close ranks. Really, really like it. Fantastic model. Yeah, no, that's fine, Grim. That's absolutely fine. I mean, even if it's just you pop down for the day, if you can do that, or anything like that, then that would be great as well. But if not, then don't you worry. It's not going to be the last time we do it, hopefully. I know Boards and Swords are committed to Napoleonics, so hopefully we'll be able to get it done again. I'm hoping to go down for the Glorious First if they do a game then as well, because that is on a Saturday this year. So the Glorious 1st of June was when the Royal Navy defeated the Navy of Republican France, and they normally do a big game every year for it. But this year, I don't know. I don't know if you're doing one. I've not seen either way. I'm sure he will be, but I haven't seen it confirmed yet. That said, I haven't looked in the last week or so, so that is on me. Where are we? What is a good source for Russian Guard cavalry uniforms? Future project. Just Google. Google, to be honest, is your best bet. I mean, I've got quite a few images in my slideshow for the video on the Russian Guard. But yeah, just Russian Guard Chevalier or Napoleonic Chevalier Guard. The Guard Cossacks are one of the best looking regiments in the war. I think I love the Guard Cossacks. They look like they're going to a wedding, as the Tsar said. So I'm just going to finish this guy's boots, and then I'm going to have a sit back. I'm going to have a slurp of coffee, and I'm going to have a look at the comments. So apologies if I'm ignoring you at the moment. I'm not meaning to. Not sure his saber's done. Again, these contrasts, absolutely love them. I was talking to my brother. I said before, he's much more of a painter than me. He's been using the Army Painter ones. He swears by them as well. So I can't tell you myself, but he says they're good, and if he says they're good, they probably are. For me, because the contrast ones were the first to do them, and I got quite into them. I was an early adopter, shall we say. I'm just used to using Citadel ones now, so that tends to be what I keep with. But no, he tells me the speed paints are very good, so can recommend those as well. There we are. That's him dunsies. You'll notice I'm not doing the straps down by the faces. I'll have to go back over and do those because I find it easy to paint the face, just blob the face basically, and then come back and do those afterwards. Right, let's have some coffee and read some comments. Where are we? You've got to respect the sheer scale of Leipzig. Yeah, absolutely. As a 6mm gamer who fully intends to take up Napoleonics after ACW, I'm slightly scared by the number of brigades present. I would probably split that up into smaller engagements to start off with. If you're absolutely desperate to do the whole Battle of Leipzig, I would probably start off and do the smaller actions, and then bring them all together at the end to do the whole battle. I would recommend primarily grey and or brownish colours for the French greatcoats. Yeah, absolutely. Before the contrast paints, I just used to spray them grey, wash them black, done for the coats. Yeah, same with brown or blue. I would do the same thing. Spray them blue, hit them with Drakenhof Nightshade, job done. Obviously, I'd go and go back over and do the straps and stuff like that, but that was the majority of the model then done. Coming up to Friday, completing 3 battalions, 7th Fusiliers, very nice. 2nd and 3rd Guard, very nice. Inside of 8 days, I'm hoping that's good progress. Yeah, absolutely, that's fantastic progress. Yeah, very well done. 4 more battalions to go, very good. Oh, you have to get some more when you run out, though. Emil, I completely agree. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much either. Yeah, no, the Glorious First, the battles he's done in the past, they do look very, very good. So yes, I'm hoping to get to one this time. I played WDS. I don't know what that is. PC Wargames. There's actually a Leipzig that's even larger than historical. There's French of Saint-Cyr added to. All right, blimey, Charlie. Yeah, that is a big one then. So, but that's cool though. There's no point in just redoing the historical battle. You may as well add the what ifs in there as well. So Waterloo. If you're going to do Waterloo, I'd probably add a random chance that Grouchy is going to bother his ass to turn up. Put down his strawberries and pick up his sabre. Actually, I need to be nice about Grouchy. I just bought a model for him, so he costs like £4.50. So yeah, I better be nice to him, or he'll fail his command rolls. Army Painter works well. Yeah, no, it does. As I say, according to Paul, that's it's all good. Are there any special rules for these Saxon Lifeguard Kraziers? I know not as far as I'm aware, actually. There's a lot of guard units that didn't see widespread action that don't have any rules. So things like the Prussian Guard or the Austrian Guard are two examples of units that don't have rules. And that's because they didn't really see action. So it's fair enough. I can understand that. But having said that, if they've got cool uniforms and you want to use them, it's a shame that they haven't. So I'd probably give them the same stats as the Garde du Corps, to be honest. Did they wear breastplates? If they didn't, then you could say that the 3+ save is due to their elite status. So the Grenadier Cheval have a 3+ save and they don't wear cuirasses. I think the British Lifeguard might have a 3+ save as well. They don't wear cuirasses. I don't think that's right. I think if you don't wear a cuirass, your save should be capped at 4+. And I include Grenadier Cheval and Lifeguards in that. Because I think there should always be a bonus for having a cuirass on top of just your standard morale. But you know, it's not a hill that I would fight and die on, that's for sure. Yes, he did wear a breastplate. Yeah, I'd probably just go with the same rules as Saxon Garde du Corps then. The Saxon Garde du Corps are pretty strong. So I'd probably just go with the same rules as them, to be honest. Maybe even make them not quite as good. Maybe take off Tough Fighters or something like that. You know me and Tough Fighters. So, or maybe add it if they were particularly skilled. Vallejo Game Club. Yeah, I've heard that's good, Ben. Again, I've not really tried it. I tried it with these Germans, but it didn't really work. But that's not the paint's fault. That was because I'd used Munitorium Green, and it came out very, very pale, which as an accident I found really good for doing the Gebrigé that I've got to paint. So that's nice. But yeah, I tried to put it over the top of that, and it didn't quite work. Now that's not the paint's fault. That's because I was using it in a way it's not supposed to be used. So, but yes, no, I'm looking forward to using that more. I've got some. It came out very matte browny green, and I've got some Battlefront US Marines from Vietnam. Well, I've got some Rubicon ones as well, and I'm quite looking forward to using it on them because I thought it looked like a very good denim. So I shall let you know once I've used it on them. Yeah, WDS games have loads of what ifs. They have one at Waterloo and Varva at the same time. Oh, that's cool. On the same map, yeah. So well, that makes sense. Yeah. Mate, I get away with repurposing all my 172nd 27080s into modern gaming systems. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, something like Black Powder or even General D'Armée, which seems to be the flavour of the month. I'm fairly sure they're going to be scale agnostic. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do that at all. I've played Black Powder in 20mm a few times, and yeah, no, it works absolutely perfectly. But in fact, I'm thinking of doing a start collecting 20mm, so or 1/72 scale. So if any, is that something that you guys would be interested in? I know it's quite a popular period. Sorry, quite a popular scale, I know. And I thought it'd just be a bit of fun as well. The main problem, though, is getting hold of Zvezda models these days. I don't think the Austrians had guard units. They did, but yeah, they didn't. They basically didn't leave Vienna. So yeah. So while they did have guard, they didn't. They were more like door guards than actual guards. I don't know with Austria. It's a weird place. It's all a bit. They were probably too busy listening to Mozart instead of curb stomping Frenchmen. Oh, the guard were made of retired veterans. Ah, right. Okay. Well, I didn't realise that. Okie dokie. That would make a little bit more sense then. Yeah. They've had enough fighting, so they're happy to stay at home. Yeah. Honestly, from fighting a single battle, the rules of British Guard cavalry, in my opinion, were too good. Yes, no, I've been. Yes, my thoughts on the British cavalry are well known. They are very, very strong in black powder. Very strong. Too strong, in my opinion. I have slightly nerfed them in the From Eagles to Glory campaign pack, which is what this weekend's video is going to be. It's going to be the new pack with some FAQs in it. So, yeah, there'll be a few things in there that have changed. Nothing major, I don't think. But it's basically be designer's notes on the campaign pack and some house rules / clarifications that I've put in there. The British get a very, very minor nerf to their cavalry. In fact, actually, they get a couple of changes, which they're still going to be very strong, but there's going to be a lot more downsides to them than there currently is. Hi Tim, I was wondering if you had any thoughts to share on recent G-Dub price increases. Also, has anyone tried the Perry World War II range? I will answer question number 2 first. Yes, extensively. So I've got my American army is made up of Perry miniatures. I have an Indian army which is made up of Perry miniatures, and I have a 1940 Crete Fallschirmjäger army that's made up of Perry miniatures. So if you've got any questions about them, I can answer them probably. The first question: do I have any thoughts on the G-Dub price increases? To be honest, I despair really of the Games Workshop fandom, and it's so coming back from Adepticon, I'd had 4 days, which effectively it was all Games Workshop. Oh, there were other stuff there as well. There was like Conquest or Kings of War or Malifaux and Team Yankee, all that good stuff. But basically, it was a Games Workshop event, and just the enthusiasm people have at Games Workshop was absolutely awesome to see. It really, really was great. It really got me enthused back into 30k. I bought a Custodes army. I'm thinking, I might get some Dark Eldar. I might get back into them. Really did enthuse me. And then, we're going to increase the prices. Just really took the wind out of my sails, and it's a real, real shame. And I'm probably just going to go back to printing. I've got this Custodes army now. I will buy some elements of that from Winnie the Pooh, and then the rest of it I'll probably print. I can't see myself spending a huge amount of money on Games Workshop products in the near future, I have to say. It's a bit of a shame. Sounds like the Austrian had court guards. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I still need to learn Black Powder for June. You and me both, brother. Yeah, you and me both. Greetings from Spain, Alejandro. Greetings from the UK. They are from Piano War Games. Yes, they are their Bavarian. Not their Bavarians. They're Vertin-Burgers. Although a rando Bavarian did manage to find his way onto the painting table. He was obviously been put in the wrong box. I must have looked at the helmet and it was dark. And was like, oh yeah, he's a Vertin-Burger. So yes, no, they are piano miniatures. Anyone feeling peckish? Yeah, I am absolutely starving. I'm not going to lie. I am pretty hungry. I can smell barbecues. That's the worst part of it. So, yeah. No. I do like a good barbecue. In terms of battlefield tactics and experience, French cavalry definitely outclass British. I'm not sure about that. Yes, no, I shall say, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm going to say I am not sure about that. Certainly in the peninsula, the British cavalry seemed to enjoy more success than the French cavalry did. That said, they didn't take any cuirassiers with them, did they? I know they had 2 units of cuirassiers, but they weren't proper cuirassiers. They were basically just dragoons. Similarly, they didn't have anything like carabineers or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm not saying I think you're wrong, but I'm saying I'm not 100% in agreement with you on that one. And certainly the Lancers did a very good job on the British cavalry at Waterloo. Now, that is absolutely faux show. Damjan wanted to grab some old world elves, but as they've not been released yet, then they're going to be... Yeah, no, absolutely. I was quite looking forward to the old world, and I was reading all the rules, leaks, all that stuff, and it was pretty much like an edition specifically written for me. I was just like, oh, this is sounding awesome. And then I heard they got rid of Step Up, and the way that attacks work now, you get all your attacks if you're in the front rank. So you have a unit that's like 2 men deep and 10 man wide. And I was just, ugh. You know what? I've not played a single game of it. I've bought a Conquest, the Last Argument of King's Army instead. I bought the Sorcerer Kings for that. So I'm quite looking forward to getting those guys sorted. I also really like the Old Dominion as well. What's not to love about undead Byzantines? So... the Dutch Warsaw video was helpful. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. Is that the Start Collecting one? I quite enjoyed that one because that's an army which I would collect and have collected, but I did it the expensive way, and now it was quite exciting for me to see how it can be done a lot cheaper and a lot simpler as well. So no angry emails to slow manufacturers. Speaking of which, I have to say I've not been. You may have noticed I've not been linking the loot, the outpost in my things recently. They've rather disappointed me. I've been waiting for some Germans for 2 months from Warlord Games from them, and I've got an email back today saying, "Oh yeah, not everything's in stock. Shall we refund the stuff we can't get and send you the rest?" I'm like, well, no. I mean, get the stuff that I ordered 2 months ago, but we are where we are, I suppose. At least it's done in time for Partisan, so I can pick up what I need from there. But I need my Sharby flamethrower tank. What's not to love about that? The French cuirassiers were better armoured. Yeah, that's true, and they kept throwing away their rifles. That is also true. The French had no real heavy cavalry. No, they didn't, and I think that was a big issue for them. I think one of the big things with French heavy cavalry doctrine is it relied on numbers. So there's I would say it relied on mass, which the mass of the individual trooper, but also the mass of the formations of heavy cavalry as well. You very rarely have a unit of cuirassiers. It's usually 3 units of cuirassiers, or something like the Saxons. So you had the at Borodino, you had the Garde du Corps, the Zristau. Was it the Zristau or something like that? And the 14th Polish cuirassiers as well in the same brigade. So yeah, it was usually done en masse rather than a unit here or there. The Oathmark Elf range is nice. You know what? It is actually. I saw them because someone converted them into Arabians. And yes, they were very nice, actually. Yeah, I was very impressed with the the Oathmark High Elves. I'm thinking about a small German army on the Eastern Front. To just, yeah, I mean that's the Perrys don't do plastic Eastern Front Germans yet. They do Africa Corps in plastic. Their metals are also based around Africa as well, but I guess some you could use in Eastern Europe. Check out offensive miniatures, as in, you know, miniatures that people would find offensive. Offensive miniatures, they're the nicest 28mm World War II Germans I've seen. But I also really like Black Tree design as well. They're not always easiest to get hold of, but and they're a little bit chunky. They're a little bit old school. But no, I really like them. I think they're great. I'm also currently furiously resisting getting... there's a sale on at the Outpost. And they have... If stuff's in stock, then it's worth getting from them. If it's not in stock, I probably would advise against it. But they've got the Team Yankee American Starter Army in the sale. And I've just been reading about the Battle of 73 Eastings with Captain McMaster. So I'm furiously resisting buying it. If I didn't have Partisan to go to, I probably already would have bought it. Zastau Karazias, that's that one. That's that badger. I should know. I've got a unit of them painted, but my old brain forgets these things. I clearly need some oily fish. Where are we? The irony is I'm getting rid of some of my old fantasy stuff. Yeah, you know what, mate? I don't blame you. The only thing that's stopping me doing it is I can't be asked to get it all out of the cellar and photographed. I should do, really, though. I've got an absolutely humongous armies for fantasy, way bigger than I would ever need. I sold a 3,000 point army of Empire, and I've still got like 2 or 3 armies I can make painted armies that I can build. So yes, no, I think I probably got too much Empire. And that's before I started printing all the Highland miniature stuff as well. Right, where are we? Let me scroll back and see some things. 80 half-track and HMG half-track. Coil see your infantry a long way. Yeah, no, that's true. The 80 half-track is pretty cool. Is it the 250 or 251/9, is it, I think, or 10? With the Pack 40 on. Yeah, they are pretty tasty. For the Perrys, I like their generic metal sets. Yeah, no, the machine guns are nice. Yeah. Yeah, no, well, exactly. It wasn't snowing in Russia all the time, was it? In fact, when they invaded Russia, it was quite hot. Yes, in the PBEM of Aspen Estling, my opponent sacrificed a lot of his heavy cavalry to the attack on day 1, and it's now almost 5 AM on day 2. Ah, yes, very good. Yeah, I mean, well, that's where you've got your chargers from Disp. I don't know if you're playing French or Austrians, but that's where you got your chargers from D'Espania, which ended up him dying, and obviously LaSalle, his chargers as well. So, yeah, Aspen Essling was a... oh, actually, that was Wagram, wasn't it? Sorry, it was LaSalle. But that campaign certainly saw a lot of heavy cavalry action. Right, I've just noticed the time. It has gone 7 PM. I'm going to draw it to a close shortly. I'm just going to paint the this guy here. Now, we here in the UK, we've just had a bank holiday Monday, which I very much enjoyed. We have got another bank holiday Monday coming up. I believe it's the 29th of May. So I might be doing a live stream then. It may end up being World War II that I'm painting on that one, because we've got an event the next week, which is going to be a World War II event. So I won't be doing a video for the first week of June. There should be ones before then, though. And hopefully the live stream, with work permitting, the live stream should be carrying on as normal. This weekend, I've got an idea for a video, but oh yeah, so no, this weekend is probably going to be going through the pack for Under Eagles to Glory. Just some designer's notes, house rules, things like that. It's not set in stone. So if I say, right, this is the way I'm going to house rule something, if you vehemently disagree with it, if you're coming to the event or not, then it doesn't matter. Let me know in the comments. And if it's something I think that we need to look at again, then I'm more than happy to do that. I think more so than most war games, Black Power is a collaborative effort. It's not about, oh yeah, I've made list A, you've got list B. They're the filthiest they can be. Let's go. I think it is about discussion and working things through with your opponent. So I would like to keep the spirit of that alive. And as I say, if there's something that you don't like, then let me know, and we can explore it together in future. Or if there's something you do like, let me know, and we can bake that in. Let's go in here. It looks like I've rubbed some paint off his haunch there. Yeah, that was a bit silly. So there we go. That's a nice grey horse. We'll finish on that. I've got a mostly painted ossifer. Let's go on there. This guy here. There you go. You can go on there. Once again, I've not done his facings because I don't know who he's going to end up with. But with that, I just want to say thank you for joining me. Actually, before I go, I'll do one last thing. I'm going to need to pull this out a little bit for this. Let's get the brown on this finished. We started off with the blacksmith. Let's finish off with the blacksmith. So I'll get this leg here done. Just held me up on day one. Yeah, well, I mean that's sometimes all you need to do. But if he spent all his cavalric resources just holding you up, well, obviously he's going to run out of those, and then you can use your reserves to go in. And that's why I think one of the things about Napoleonics is it is very much about reserves. I think that's what makes it different from, say, the 7 Years' War. Is yeah, a lot of it is about the correct application of reserves. I believe it only fought in 1806 and 1809. Is that the Saxon Craziers, or no? It can't be the Saxon Craziers. Not sure about that one. The steppe regions get very hot in the summer. Yes, they very much do. Yes. Did you see the 1940 German cavalry on Kickstarter? I did. I didn't get them though. I've got some 15mm cavalry from Peter Pig, SS cavalry that I've not done anything with yet. The roads of Old Cold Harbour, mud, gravel, occasional. The half track with the Pack 40. Oh, it's a 2-2, right? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. 3D printer seems to be a good investment. Shame I have no space for it and don't like the sound of lung cancer. Yes, no. The best thing to do is find someone else with one. That's the best way to use a 3D printer. So I'm just using a brown wash on this barrel. This is going to bring out all of the detail that is sculpted on. It's really nice, all the wood grain and all that kind of stuff. There we go. Oh, I can't wait to get the cat on the roof. I'm really looking forward to that. And there we go. I think that's probably going to do us, because I had to put more brown on there than I thought I was going to. Thank you very much for outside. Well, absolutely. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. Keep the Russian Guardian Reserve, absolutely. Peter Pig, good quality. I haven't bought from them. Their older stuff, not great. Their newer stuff, fantastic. Their Greek range, Ancient Greeks, are absolutely gorgeous. Golan Roth, the Saxon Carabineers, only for... Oh, right, it's the Saxon Carabineers we're talking. Sorry, yeah. Oh, right, okay. I didn't know that. So, there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, guys. I am going to have to go. I'm going to get in trouble from the chef. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys at the weekend. Have a nice week, and I will see you guys next time.